Hello, good morning. This is Falcon's Frontier. It's for the journey. And it's time for another adventure here in the verse. Let's do a bit of space trucking, perhaps some sightseeing as we absorb ambience and solitudes in this engrossing space. This is Falcon's Frontier, welcoming everybody aboard. So without further ado, let's begin. Let's go ahead and recall our Aurora Mark 1.
Welcome to the
Get some more
retrieval system.
local missions.
Has been delivered to the following location.
We are in Area 18, so let's catch the light. See what we can see. Gain a presentation with subtle moments, both in silence and commentary. We have the Aurora Mark 1 ready, our trusty companion. Verse journey. So let's see what's on our roster today. Let's see what is available for us. Again, some local missions. We have some stellar and planetary. So some planetary missions. We've got a whole range of them. 43,000 credit, or 44,000 nearly. As we continue, so let's do an 8 SCU. So that is certainly quite a heavy one. So let's see. We'll do a small cargo haul, planetary cargo haul, and again some Riker Memorial Spaceport journeys. Let's see if there are any other and around in Area 18 or SU containers. Again, such an increase in our ability to select various missions, hauling, hand binding, and additional missions. Again, these are large. Again, these are further missions. So let's select some basic planetary ones. Let's see if we can squeeze a few of those in and continue the grind. On the Baijini spaceport, I think we'll go through them and see what we can uncover. If at all it's anything out of practice. In solitude and ambience. So we've got a test 10 SCU. Let's see if we've got a less SCU. We've got a 6 SCU of aluminium. So let's go ahead and accept that offer. We are at the collect shipment, so we are in obviously Area 18. Our corp, let's open the Aurora Mark 1. Might do some sightseeing as well. Take in the sights and sounds, perhaps of the forest tundras over in Microtech, as well as the wonderful forests. That's where you sip on our signature.
Welcome to Robert Space Industries.
Verse Java.
Welcome to Robert Space Industries. Enjoy one. System check.
So let's get to the journey point. Practices in ambience. And subtle journeys here in the verse. And there's that low frequency effect sound, creating that resonance, the spectacular signature sounds that cast us off into our reflective journeys. But now, let's journey on up and out. It requires us to get out of the atmosphere. Well, hopefully everybody is doing very well as we try to catch the light and increase fidelity here.
Auto drive is now on. Auto drive is now off.
Quick missions possible with the quantum drive. Always a good idea to disable our super cruise and deploy the gear.
Shields are and gear deployed.
A stellar landing here. Or to acquire the maxi lift, which we should do actually. We have enough credits for the maxi lift tractor beam. We get into some mining, as well as some salvage of the spectacular sight. Stanton, reflecting off the clouds here over the city-covered planet here in our corp. Subtle moments in around the verse to explore. Let's head on. Touchdown.
Landing complete.
Bit of a hard landing. So let's go ahead. Slide out of our Aurora. Feel the visceral spaces, freshly delivered Aurora, which had some damage, has since been repaired. The industrial style fragrance that's part of the self-land hangar, a marked difference from the classic AeroView hangars. So let's get our shipment and complete this session. It's going to be a long grind, but hopefully one that is rewarding enough. So we can only accept 3 SCU. Let's go ahead and we've moved it to the warehouse. We've got 4 here. the warehouse. Oops. Okay, so we've got the additional SCU. And there we have the 3 SCU. So we'll raise the elevator. It is a spectacular sight to see the elevator as it brings the material. But the only danger is we don't really want to do that because it can glitch out unless they've fixed it. Let's retrieve our reactor beam and go ahead with loading here. Again, this is a subtle practice in catching the light through a kind of ambience and doing verse journeys. And one in particular is the comfortable art, both hauling and the other peaceful endeavors. Really allows to experience the verse without all the running and gunning. Yes, all that will feature. For the moment, let's go ahead. And a spectacular moment is when we actually go to an open space, perhaps on one of the many planetary surfaces. Light up the much improved area here. They've done it so you don't actually clip into the... So they've modified the animation such, made it more realistic. And you've got the little window either side. I'm sure they've got that. You can just peer out as you shelter from the extreme temperatures and just watch beyond the comfort of your aurora as we are taking the sights and sounds. But they've modified it now so you don't actually clip into the bulkhead, which is wonderful little ship, the Aurora. Intentions are to acquire the Aurora, the Mercury Star Runner, amongst other ships.
Welcome to Swiss Industries. Enjoy the world.
Okay, let's pan round and head on down back to Area 18. Open up once more into the verse. Our journey will get more varied as we continue. We can perhaps head over to another planet, do some deliveries over Microtech. It was an impressive sight to see the entirety of the planet here. Deliver shipment. Is set. Okay, we should get up to near enough 100,000. So we'll see what we can do. Okay, so let's see if we can lock to deliver the shipment. Seeing invalid target. So we'll just put area 18 and route to area 18, and it should. We have it now. So many subtle improvements in the verse, both with the ship interaction and the environment. Back down now to the Riker Memorial Spaceport. Go back to a couple of halls and then head over to Microtech. Some more impressive sceneries. So let's hail Area 18, and there we have it. Let's bear with the Falcon's Frontier as we achieve the journey. Spectacular lighting, especially when the light casts parts of Area 18 in shadow and cast parts of it in like the Terminator, really highlighting the impressive profile that defines this impressive space.
Warning, leaving safe zone. Warning, leaving safe zone.
Really defines the subtle ambience in and around some of the planetary surfaces, specifically with the light play, which is certainly very impressive. Okay, slightly wonky. Adjust ourselves and touchdown.
Landing complete. System off.
Certainly having their hobnobs and double espressos over at Cloud Imperium. Chocolate hobnobs, to be precise. The Chocolate Hobnob Empire. And what is the verse without some unusual artifacts? So let's go ahead and, oops, deliver our components. This is the basic level, and then it gets serious. It gets surgical with the larger loads and with the lots to learn with respect to cargo deployment, management, huge cargo mechanics. I want to try and be as realistic as possible, not to damage the... Not that a tractor beam can carry 1.2 tons, but interesting defense con. We didn't have a full opportunity to demonstrate the defense con in all its capabilities, but we hope to continue the journey. Whoopsie. Much apologies. Okay. Let's holster our tractor beam. And confirm. Okay. Or AUAC for the satchel. 3 more to go. Once we get the ropes in respect of how this works, we can really appreciate the mechanism behind it. Go on with the journey.
Welcome to Aerospace Industries. Join one. System check.
Certainly a lot to explore and understand in terms of how everything operates, especially with the quality of life improvements. Small, the huge metal doors open to the grand spectacle. The cityscapes never ending as they extend into distant horizons. Really feel the acceleration from the planetary surface. You can really feel the distant shadows, light rays, light shafts being cast. This is the particularly interesting when you have the light play with the Stanton coming through the volumetric clouds there. Particularly impressed with the that has on Microtech. Oops.
Shields off.
There will indeed be a lot more journeys into and through our verse Odyssey.
Auto drive is now on. Auto drive is now off.
In amongst other virtual worlds.
Shields off.
Drop the gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay, this should conclude our small hauling mission. A lot of those little hauling missions to get onto. Fox Frontier will ensure to complete these hauling missions. So we get to the...
Landing gear raised.
Nope, not to raise the landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
To request our ATC, and there we have our such an incredible view, especially when you have a seamless integration between the orbit and the planetary surface. truly seamless, which is again impressive. But it's tempted to boost. It does pose a problem. Classic issue of not slowing down in time as you approach a station. Results of which are no less than catastrophic. Southland Hangar has its unique characteristics.
Landing complete. System off.
Okay, let's complete our consignment mission here. Yes, Orison is another good place to do a few mission consignments. Vary our journeys a little bit. Okay, so useful to lower the lift. Praise. So this is this will complete our aluminium journey. I'm sure this is a territory visited by many members of the verse, but it's been a while since we've managed to really appreciate the quality of life improvements. So it's a bit of a learning process, but I'm happy to learn together on the journey. Let's carry a very capable spacecraft, the Aurora. The Aurora Mark II is quite unique as well, with its little cargo carrying capacity, concealed capacity there. Just know that. Impressive. Element to journey, especially ships that have the unfurling mechanism, such as the Miss Calais, which is an impressive sight to see the unfurling process. It's such a subtle art in having a look and really appreciating how these mechanisms, gear retractions, cargo mesh deployments, various doorways, lifts, buttons, levers, how they all function and create us these subtle moments in the cozy space here. I'm going to try and get this ambience down to a perfect T in order to create a conduit away from the troubles of the day, but just enjoy the journey. So, success. Let's go ahead and get down to 18. This has been repaired, so obviously the crisp, clean, polished lines of the Aurora. New fragrance, ship fragrance.
Enjoy the ride. System
Okay. Gear retraction.
landing
And
gear.
request our clearance. This is Focus Frontier Aurora. Mark 1 requesting departure. As if I look into the abyss, and thus the abyss looks into me. It's Nietzsche, a famous philosopher, with deep quotes. The reality of life and no greater is that we're members here of the engrossing verse. You really get a sense of vertigo here. Let's let's track our location here. Seems to track the ARCorp or the Area 18 on this routing via the such locations, but not really via the deliver shipments. So let's go ahead. Gauge Super Cruise. Seem to be. We'll do Area 18 again. Oh, we have to go down to Area 18 or ARCorp itself. Whoops. We have the deliver shipment. Area 18 is now accessible. Let's just have a moment as we listen to that impressive low frequency effect sound. Let's have a little bit of a really as a test in the more so than doing the 0G sort of EVA style, because you're just a singular. When you're in a structure, you get a real sense of the height above the planet. I think beats the subtle ambience and the low frequency effect sounds. Definitely one for the studies in silent moments. Window views. Let's do a silent plan. Bit of reflection. In those subtle moments. Hopefully enjoyed that. We're doing that quite a bit throughout our journey, as we focus on the objective, but appreciate the scenery as we do so.
Bottom drive is now on. Bottom drive is now off.
It's certainly so much to do in the verse. And that obviously inspires, the verse inspires various other elements in both space, understanding space, and appreciating it. The Artemis 3 mission has been named, ready to test a rendezvous with the Bezos's Blue Origin and Musk's SpaceX Starship. So we'll be seeing if there can be a successful rendezvous and docking procedure, which is a mission looking forward to. But such a wonderful pathway in creating science fiction and infusing both science fiction and science reality. What a wonderful gateway to interweave those with this wonderful practice in space and imagination. So let's go ahead. Humble apologies if Falcon does go on a little bit. As sort of Gandhi says, there's more to life than increasing its speed, but again, I just somewhat captivated by the eloquence of the verse. Hope you'll enjoy the journey, but we do have a shipment to complete. This journey on down was very active here, so quite tricky going into those smaller horizontal paths. Area 18, particularly Orison, is a particularly interesting and challenging space to land. And we have another upturned, looks like a Pisces. We are working away in the air traffic control. Okay, gear is down. Okay, this should complete this consignment. Had a bit of a reflective moment there. Okay, the freight elevator, yep, Pisces upturned. So, it's disappeared now. Okay, with each update, we seem to be getting better and better in both management, quality of life updates. Okay, we're going up. Hopefully we'll get 100,000 credits, then we'll do a bit of verse shopping. See what we can see what we can buy. Maxi-lift tractor beam is one of the ones on the list. I think we also need a jump module to go into Pyro. See how we configure it anyway. Let's go to the lower the elevator and confirm. In transit. So what do? We go to the small cargo and And, well, let's indicate, yes, there we have awarded. So let's have a look at our balance. We are going up 93. So it's a reasonably effective moment in which we completed yet another mission on our journey in the verse. We'll continue and try and continue the journey as much and as effectively as possible. And again, we need an 8 SCU, so we need lots of 1 SCUs. There's also the opportunity to hire a spacecraft, but let's continue this. And might as well hire. We've got a 3 SCU capacity. Looks like we can do a bit of a hire down the Astromada and see what we can do. We've got a couple of more consignments to do, perhaps. Let's do 3 or 4 more. Let's see, 8 SCU and 4 SCU. So we've got a Riker Memorial and we've got Carbon. That's 11 SCU, 24. That's another 6 aluminium hull. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll complete this journey, and when we return, we'll continue the journey. We'll hopefully upload our Dragon, being conscious of the time, but we'll do longer sessions and simply chapter it at your convenience. A lot more to discuss as we get inspired to discover what is in and around the verse as we journey on. Perhaps our next journey is we'll skip over onto Microtech and some spectacular scenes in and around there, do some sightseeing as well. A spectacular ambience as we catch the light and experience the journey. We've got 100,000 credits nearly, so in the next session we'll journey over to Microtech, do a few sessions there, change the scenery a little, do a bit of sightseeing and some verse shopping, and you get all the various parts and goodies and rebuild our stock after the recent wipe. So let's go ahead and conclude this session quickly. Let's store our trusty Aurora Mark 1. Thank you indeed. Oh, we've left the door open. C2 Spirit is another ship we want to acquire. Was Crusader Industries the mainstay of Falcon's Frontier, but there are a lot more other ships to explore. This is a good bit. Love the sequential lighting. Subtleties in moments here in the verse. Okay, let's conclude our session here and resume in our journey. So we'll do one session over in Area 18, then head over to Microtech, do some sightseeing and some more deliveries, try and get up to 1 million or a couple of million credits, make sure we do some bits and pieces and also get some stuff in the verse as well. That's all that's left to say is Falcon's Frontier hopes you've enjoyed the journey. Let's continue experiencing the light and spaces as we absorb the subtleties and wonders here in the verse. This is Falcon's Frontier, wishing everybody an inspiring onward journey. Until next time, goodbye for now.